what do I want to talk about? I am working on my new booklet, Collect, Cultivate, Create, and it's one of those things, I think, with any creative project, and you would know this, where you think it's one thing, and then as you start on that journey, it becomes bigger and more and different, and it morphs and changes into something else. And that's actually the beauty of the creative process. That's actually the fun of being called to create something, whether that is a painting or writing a book or creating an experience or coaching clients. That's the joy of it. But at the same time, when you're going through it, it is so scary and brings up so much resistance, which is where I'm at right now. A lot of resistance, and it's showing up not just in me not feeling inspired, I guess, to write. It's also showing up in babies that don't want to sleep unless they're on mummy. It's showing up in being a little sick and kids who are sniffly nosed, and time that you thought you had just running out. But at the same time, I'm realizing there are so many other ways that you are connecting to your creativity. The trick isn't always being focused on what you don't have, the lack of time, the lack of inspiration, the lack of knowing what the next word's supposed to be, what the next step is going to be. When you focus so much on that, that's all you see. If you can come from it from a point of view of, if you've already collected all the inspiration that you need, all the kind of background, you've already started on your project. I'm talking about the resistance that comes up when you've already started and you're about to get into that flow and you're missing something and you're not getting into that creative flow. What does that look like? Well, you need to realize that this resistance shows up, and it's just part of the process. And I know this. I wrote another little booklet about it called Lies of Resistance, and I fall for those lies all the time. But even now, being aware of it doesn't mean you don't still hit resistance and things still shows up. And so the trick is to focus on what you can do, what you have, and that is, no matter what, even if all this stuff comes up and you don't have time, if your intention is still to move forward in the project and go, no, I want to, you will find it. Like, I can't quite do the painting that I wanted to do today, but I'm probably going to do some writing because I can kind of type with one hand and probably two hands if I can sit on the couch. But also, I'm here making a video because my vlogs are another art form that I am playing with this year, and what you're watching right now. And if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. All the links are going to be below or here somewhere on the video. So make sure you subscribe so that you are always up to the latest one. Anyway, back to that booklet and the trick. When you're hitting resistance, if your intention is always to find a way through, don't fall for the lie that you should just stop. That's the trick. I know I've been saying the word trick for so many times now and it's getting confusing. Don't fall for the lies. Don't stop, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Don't stop. Don't let it completely derail you so that you just completely give up and then you move on to something else. Or worse, you start again. This resistance shows up because you're on the right path. And so if your intention is to keep moving forward, then you will work out something that you can do. Like these vlogs, this video I'm making right now is totally clearing my head. And when I have a chance to really step in front of the easel, when I have a chance to sit in front of the computer and start typing, the flow will come. You know why? Here's my point. Because I continue to connect with my creativity. Keep that intention to cultivate that relationship, to continuously connect to your creativity. that is going to be your trick to moving through that resistance. Because if you keep fighting it and you're finding that you're bumping up against it, and then the more you're pushed, the worse and bigger the resistance comes up, you get more and more sick, and then you get even more lethargic, and the new TV series comes up and you definitely need to binge watch it all, then you have to find a way to kind of melt through it and not hit it straight on. Maybe you have to kind of go sideways. Maybe you need to procrastinate by working on some other art form, like make videos for your social media, to work on some other part of your business, stuff that normally you would beat yourself up because you're procrastinating on. If you can find a way to be productive in that sense, maybe hit that really long to-do list that you've been avoiding because you've been working so hard on this project. But now that you've hit resistance, maybe you can go back to that and just kind of almost bore yourself to, or hit another resistance on that part, and then you come back to it, you know? Whatever your flavor is. Maybe for you, it is telling yourself that you're going to focus for 10 minutes. You literally set an actual timer and go 10 minutes. I just need to sit here, even if all I get to write down is I don't know what to write, I'm just writing stuff out, and you're just clearing all the shitty stuff that's just floating around your head, and you commit to that 10 minutes, then you give yourself permission, guilt-free, after to go do that thing that your resistance is making you do anyway. Maybe that will help you. Whatever your flavor is, you need to work it out, you need to talk it through to someone, whatever that is. The idea is that you still commit to connecting with your creativity. And if you can do that and then cultivate that relationship, and just like any relationship, you have to work out what your love languages are. You got to work out, which way makes you tick, which way kind of flows better, and how you communicate with each other, right? And so with your creativity, that's the same way, and that's how you work through this creative process. And so back to my original point, I hope, is of resistance. It comes up. It definitely always comes up. Even if you're aware of it, it will still come up because it is part of the process. And if you can embrace that and accept it and go with it, you will find a way through, as long as you commit to connecting with your creativity in whatever way that is. Whether that is you give yourself permission to procrastinate by doing something else, by working on another project, by daydreaming and brainstorming on the new project that you'd rather do, whatever it is, but with the intention that you're going to connect back to this project and move forward and take the next step. Maybe for you, it is about asking yourself, what is one small thing I can do to take a step forward, and then be okay with that's all you did today. Even though you have set aside time, and then you suddenly get hit with the resistance, and the pile of laundry looks really, really enticing. Maybe that means for you, you have to do that pile of laundry and give yourself permission to procrastinate that way. But while you're doing it, you're still committing to connecting with your creativity. So everything's mulling around in your brain while you're doing the laundry. And so when you get back, because once you've done the laundry, you'll get back to that project, and you've already kind of allowed your brain that space to work out whatever answers or problem solve whatever it needs, and then you can kind of really bang it out. Maybe for you, you need to set a timer and just be like, I am going to spend 10 minutes. I'm just going to sit here, even if nothing good comes out, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to commit to it and try and tap into flow that way. Yes, all of this because I'm writing, Cultivate, Create, my next booklet. I have a link below, pre-order now because it's 50% off before it's released. And I'm hitting resistance, as always, when you're doing a project, when you're committing to a project, especially something that has been mulling around your mind and calling to you, and you finally step forward to do it, and you finally get through that hurdle of actually starting. And I have all my notes down, and I have an outline written out, and I sat in front of the laptop, and I wanted to really get into the meat of typing out and expanding all of my notes and going through it. I hit resistance. I suddenly feel this urge to watch TV only. I suddenly get really, really sick, and then Raven suddenly gets really, really sick, and now she's refusing to be put down. She needs to only sleep on mummy. Even though we've just had 2 or 3 days of golden sleep nap times, she was just sleeping like a dream and just being put down easily. And I think it was 2 days ago, I even had 2-hour session where I was able to paint and just do and experimenting with watercolor, which is a whole other thing, because I'm experimenting with a new thing and just hitting a lot of resistance that way, because everything looks shit and I don't know what I'm doing because it's a whole new thing, and then telling myself therefore I should just give it up and I shouldn't bother, and it's clearly a sign that this is not for me, and I should be better about it already, or I should learn what I need to learn first before I go back into it. All of these are lies of resistance. This is what happens when you hit resistance. And so in my booklet, Collect, Cultivate, Create, I'm talking through the creative process, and I'm going to be covering resistance, and I'm going to be talking about my kind of creative process, both in my paintings as well as in my deliberate doodles. And if you go to my website, you go into the shop, brendamangalore.com/shop, and look up booklets. Anyway, there's going to be a link below to this booklet, and especially if you can pre-order. And now, if you see this after, I'm sorry, but if you see this now and you can get it at the pre-order stage, you get 50% off. It's a no-brainer, really. So I'll be sharing not just my creative process and really just my story and how I'm finding my creativity and connecting with it and collecting ideas and cultivating that relationship. Really, all of my work, just like my art, serves as a mirror for you, because you're going to see how this is how you connect with your creativity. This is how you get that creativity into your life and into your work, and how you can share that with your clients and really show up for your work at 100% and growing and becoming more of who you want to be. And not just collecting ideas, because sometimes maybe that's the easy part for you, that's the easy part for me, but also cultivating that relationship and the creative process and how that works when you hit resistance, how do you melt through it, and then how do you get into flow, and then as well, then you hit that part where you need to release the work and actually create the work, and then keep creating that work and keep that going so that you never run out of ideas, so that you keep the momentum going and get that creative flow going throughout your life, because you don't just make one thing. You don't want to be just a one-hit wonder. You're going to be continuously creating, because connecting with your creativity is part of having a joyful and beautiful life. And if you can continue and maintain that connection, then when you do hit these spots of resistance, it's still hard. I want to say it gets easier, but no, it's still hard. But at least you know your own self better, and each time you do, you learn new ways of working through it, and you can still be creating even during these hits of resistance, and that's just really part of that creative life. So yes, that's what I have for you today. I hope that was really useful and really resonates with where you're at and where you're going to be at. And yes, so that booklet, definitely pre-order it now. The link is below, or you'll find it on my website, brendamangalore.com. And yes, I will see you in the next one.